very aggressively, and he shows that confidence and can really start to just completely take away portions of the map from you. So Endpoint in general, I think, are a pretty difficult team to play against. We'll see what Nordavind can do as the knife round comes in. Very aggressively from Endpoint. They are wasting no time with this one. It's not going to work for them, though. Nordavind, on their map choice, get to choose which side they start on as well.
This Mirage. Like, it's one of those maps where I really don't think it matters that much. Like, I think most teams will still choose to start CT. I don't think most teams even really think about the side. So it's going to be interesting to see if there is a switch in play. They have actually, well, unless they haven't done it yet, it looks like they've opted to stay, which that would be quite interesting because I think there are a lot of teams that actually have a better T side. Like we even saw yesterday on Dust 2 where we both sort of agreed that Havu probably should have picked their T side to get off to a better start. They didn't do that and got trounced by Namiga because of it. And it's like, it's so common for teams to pick the CT side. I think it's just become default that if you win, you just automatically do it. So if Nordavind have picked the T side, which it looks like they have, that's actually fairly interesting.
Yeah, I like this. I always am an advocate for starting on T side, especially on more balanced maps. I just like the fact that you can just choose what pace you want to set the game up right from the get-go, and that's what they've got the option to do here. 2 sets of nades for Nordavind, NATO, Sapphics, and Chroman, with 2 smokes and 4 flashes between them, while Endpoint also have 2 sets of utility. So Real's picked up the kit while Mighty Max gets some flashes, and Endpoint starting with a stack over on the B side of the map. This allows Mighty Max to have those flashes for an A retake if they need it, and they might need to retake A, because Harry's on that A site right now. Nordavind still have the bomb back at B, though, and this rotation is not well-timed from Endpoint.
Yeah, they have absolutely no idea. Like, Harry has sold this fake very well indeed. He's been spotted elsewhere, but now Thomas getting that kill into the apartments actually makes things fairly interesting, and Harry being removed, all the space that's been gathered, now just becomes useless. It was so close to being perfect. The fact is, if they just run into the site, they would have only had to deal with Thomas and had much more of an opportunity. But knowing that Harry was in aggressive position, they decided to fall back and basically lose everything that they'd gained just moments ago. NATO, though, will at least be able to get a pick back. Turn things into still a 4-on-3. Thomas, you can tell he's tempted to try and get aggressive here, but he knows that his teammates are right within the back of the A site. They can already just play for a retake if they really wanted to. But the fact is, again, this is the second attempted fake already being thrown in. And surprisingly, Endpoint haven't fallen for it.
Yeah, this has been a very individually focused pistol from Nordavind, but they'll finally push B with 2 of their players. The problem here is they can't really swarm the site as successfully. Thomas is here to stop them. I think Nordavind just getting a bit complicated in this round, needlessly so maybe, with these Glocks just spreading out all over the place. They lose a couple of solo fights, and then by the time they're pushing B, it's not the same full force B aggression. It's just 2 players trying to push on in. So as soon as they lose 1 or 2 of those early kills, it's basically all over. Nothing that can be done at the end there. It's Endpoint who take a long and drawn-out pistol round in their favor, but that first shot from Thomas, I think, was a big help for them. And then later in the round, just landing some shots from short. He always had the other man for assistance as well. So solid start for Endpoint, but here comes the force buy for Nordavind. Even without the bomb plant, they're going for the pistols.
Yeah, plenty of Tech 9s, lots of utility as well, so it looks like it's going to be a fast play in towards this A site, a full execution, and well, there are a relative amount of rifles here. Robin will be holding the cross, and then Surreal is the only player who doesn't have a rifle in hand. So he's going to be playing a close angle. It will be perfect for this MP9 to play around. It gets a little bit dicey, though. NATO has been able to kill him off, and this will give them a path onto the bomb site. That smoke actually leaving a much larger gap than you'd normally see, and so close to killing off NATO through the box. But they will get a bomb plant. Already a success, I would say, for Nordavind, and going into the next round, it may even allow them for a force buy. But that's if the retake actually comes in. There's still an awful lot for Endpoint to do. Chroman waiting in an aggressive position. They do have some flashbangs, which they are going to be utilizing, leaving Chroman completely blind, and HS falls to Thomas as well. He's had a very good start to this game so far, looking to help his team clear things out. It's left all onto Tensky, and he does some damage. But they should be able to get on this defusal. Mighty Max is the one with the kit, thankfully.
Yeah, Max makes sure that Endpoint win that round. I think Endpoint there did a pretty good job at using their utility on that retake. They had a smoke lined up all the way from CT, which landed at Palace, just to make sure that that position wasn't one they had to worry about. Then they started using their nades to clear out some of the positions on the site as well. And you can see the odds over on Unicorn favoring Endpoint at the start of this series. I think that's fair based on what we've seen from both these teams. I think Endpoint should be slight favorites, but Nordavind have definitely got a chance to put up a fight in this series. Maybe not as much of a chance in this round, although they've got plenty of nades. Crucial has to be careful, but he ducks away from all those nades that land at window. And now Nordavind's options are much more limited. They're trying to rush into mid, but it's not working for them. Harry gets the 1 kill, and that's all Nordavind will get out of the round.
Yeah, 1 rifle killed, but not the end of the world. And Crucial could, in fact, just invest right back into his AWP, which he will. So, if anything, it's the one man you probably didn't want to kill. So, it is going to be 3-0 in favor of Endpoint, but this is where the T's finally get a purchase onto the board. It has been a little bit of a slow start for them, not a huge amount of damage done, and you can see the CT side already starting to build up. A little bit of a bank, but not in a position where a rebuy in the next round would be ideal at least. Again, we're going to see early presence into this A side, but I like the aggression from Crucial. Taking Tensky down already. He resides in the Palace an awful lot, and how has Surreal got away with that? 2 kills, the flashbang seemingly a little bit too late, and this round is already looking done.
Yeah, we're getting some early flashes of Nordavind's performance just yesterday where they were really slow to start and where their individuals just didn't look like they could win fights early. Surreal somehow wins both those battles. I don't know how he gets 2 kills, but Crucial getting aggressive early already put them off on a good start. And okay, Harry gets 1 back, as does HS. Hang on a second, HS with another kill. We're back to a 2v2 in a matter of seconds. Crucial still on the A site with this AWP, but you'd think that Nordavind would be aware of this. He landed a shot here previously. Crucial's moving into under Palace though, and this might be an unexpected position. The bomb's moving in from ramp. Now they're going to try and focus on the site together though. Both Nordavind players here, and Crucial is going to land the shot. Hey, HS able to get the trade, and it's into the one-on-one. HS is going to be able to get this bomb down. This is a real chance for Nordavind. It looked like the round wasn't going to go their way, but the information's gathered. HS can get the bomb down, and it's all about the post plant.
The nade over the top, both players forced out. It's a little bit awkward for HS, but he retrieves the rifle, and Thomas is there to save the day once again. Definitely not the round that Endpoint should have ended up with. That was a pretty good turnaround from Nordavind. HS, these are the sort of rounds that you want to see from this man. Like, there's no doubt that his skill ceiling, I would say, is higher than anybody else's in this server at the moment. Arguably, you could put Chroman maybe within that bracket as well. Obviously, his days in phase seem a little bit far away now, but HS still has that spark every once in a while. And he's definitely not that scrawny little kid that we saw back in the day. He's now ripped as hell, got tattoos all up his arms, but he can still pop heads in the server.
Which is the most important thing if you're a Counter-Strike player, as it turns out. Yeah, good effort there from Nordavind in that round, though. And it does keep Endpoint's money somewhat limited, which was important, because in those earlier rounds, there really wasn't much damage from Nordavind. So now the money for Endpoint isn't great on some of these players. Thomas is the only man with a significant amount of cash, and Chroman's found the entry onto the A site. Crucial be able to get a kill back at mid, but the A site should be lost here. Nordavind are likely to get the bomb down right now. The smokes aren't in the best positions, but I think they'll still be fine. And Chroman lands a shot through the smoke, make it a second. 2 kills through the smoke from Chroman. We don't see how it happens, but he gets both of them, and Harry's given away his position at just the wrong moment. Mighty Max with a kill that might prompt them to try this retake, but NATO Safix instantly takes him out of the action. And even though Thomas has been having a good game so far, a 1v3 retake is one step too far for him. Nordavind will be winning their first round. I'd love to see those kills from Chroman as well.
Well, that's the thing. It seems like I'm counter-cursing people at the moment, because I said it seems like his phase days are a little bit further away, and then he just goes and wrecks the whole of Endpoint in a matter of seconds. But this is exactly what Nordavind want. Like, they have these players that can completely take over rounds. They can dominate versus a lot of very good players. Like, you have to remember that fairly recently they managed to fight versus the likes of Fnatic, and they do have that skill. It just seems like sometimes it just disappears off the server. They mentioned yesterday the communication wasn't quite there. This time, though, they've had a couple of players just step up big in rounds when they need it, and they put the pain onto the economy of Endpoint. It leaves them in a bit of an awkward spot, but somehow they seem to make these rounds work.
Yeah, and the communication won't be as important if Chroman's just going to get kills like that onto the site, because it makes it much easier and much simpler to just react without even needing the comms for the most part. Chroman can just say where he's got those kills, and then everyone else can kind of adapt to that. So that's definitely a positive sign for Nordavind. Two players waiting behind this ramp smoke. So Real's about to spot them, but he doesn't get the kill. Thomas is there to back him up, but he's trapped up close to A ramp here, and that might be the death of him. NATO Safix, oh my goodness, he tries to change weapons. Ambitious, but they were not working for him this time.
Crucial. Left in a little bit of an awkward spot, but he finds the peek onto Harry. That's perfect. A second one as well as Tensky goes down. He knows where HS is. That is a filthy triple from Crucial. He's going to win them the round and bring them straight back from the depths. But luckily for Nordavind, they do still have the loss bonus behind them. So they are going to get at least a reasonable purchase in this round. But again, it does seem to be the battle of the individuals at the moment. We've had some decent rounds from Thomas. We've had Crucial stepping up. And then you could say on the other side, you had HS with an almost round, and then Chroman having to drag them through another. We've not seen like any real rounds where it's just been like, oh, okay, we're doing this as a team, or we're keeping it clean. It always seems to come down to one man and his rifle.
Yeah, and I think based on recent form of just the individual players, this probably isn't a style that Nordavind want to be playing against Thomas and Crucial, who've been in really good form recently. Crucial especially has been stepping up. He's the highest rated player on Endpoint in the last 3 months. It's great to see Crucial finding his place on this Endpoint squad. He's really stepped it up for them recently. Crucial, speaking of, doesn't have the AWP in this round, but the M4A1S is definitely a worthy weapon. Robin up close in the ramp, just chewing down both those opponents, and that's the bomb gone. Nordavind have got to move into A, and Harrah's able to do so. Another kill for Nordavind, and Robin's caught at the ramp, so Nordavind turned this round on its head.
Thomas is still in the back lines, but Mighty Max is only left with an SMG. This is not a battle he can afford to take. And Tensky, I said it yesterday, he's always in that palace. It seems like he's still doing it even while having the AK. It definitely worked a little bit better with the SG meta. Now Max just trying to escape, but he's not going to be allowed to. So economy now reset for Endpoint. They're probably going to force this one just based off having so little on so many players. But it's left them in a bit of an awkward spot, because now there's the chance for Nordavind to break straight back. Again, a couple of impactful kills coming off the back of the ramp, and then just taking control of that A site. I will say that so far Nordavind's ramp fights, at least initially, have not been going well at all. And if it wasn't for that connector push being very well timed, and maybe a little bit of over-aggression, I would say, coming out of Robin, I think maybe he should have actually just tried to hold on to the ramp rather than actually facing back out of it. But even still, it does seem to be basically high risk from Nordavind, and a lot of the time it starts off pretty poor.
Yeah, Robin's a player who's been known to be susceptible to over-aggressive rounds at times as well. I think he's got a bit better at it recently, but sometimes he does stray a bit too far out for my liking, at least. In this one, though, Nordavind just need the one kill on the B site. Mighty Max was trying to be that anchor, but being alone on B without a great weapon to work with, he was never really going to be able to stop this from happening. Nordavind get themselves onto B. And at this point, I guess it's worth saving for the Endpoint side of things. The only thing that kind of sucks about this is that Nordavind should be able to save all their guns as well. So the T-side economy will start to get really strong. It will start to get rolling. And Endpoint aren't exactly saving great weapons other than the M4 of Robin. So you see Thomas is sticking around somewhat close, but Nordavind are all exiting through the apartments. So that T-side money will start to get strong. And for Endpoint, they've just got to focus on this next round instead.
Yeah, looking much better for Nordavind. They found the hole in the defense this round, and more importantly have actually built up a bit of a bank, because that's always the worry, like when you do finally break out of that rut and then just have your loss bonus slowly diminished, if you don't keep those rounds clean, you may not get a rebuy when you inevitably lose. So the fact that they've had a flawless round will basically set them up to get a rebuy if they lose. And now, unfortunately, again, for Endpoint, it's just going to be the same. The few pistols that they have, the one rifle onto Robin, Mighty Max can't afford to spend a dime, as he'll be left with, well, basically a diminished buy in the next round if it goes wrong. Already though, this is starting to get a bit worrying. Some dinks hit and another couple of kills coming up. Robin's found another as well. What was such a good round in the last has completely faltered in this one. They have one man left. The rifles have all been retrieved. And while now Tensky has to ace it with only 52 HP, I do not believe.
Yeah, this is such a shame for Nordavind this round, because Endpoint's money wouldn't have been that great into the next with the losing bonus they had. Tensky gets that kill, but he takes a bit more damage in the process, so finding 4 more is unlikely, to say the least. And yeah, Endpoint's money wouldn't have actually been that great in the next, because they only would have had the $2,400 loss bonus. So their buy would have been okay, but they would have been missing the AWP, they would have been missing the nades, and now all of that isn't a factor anymore, because Endpoint is just going to be winning this round. They've got 4 rifles right now. Tensky's trying to do damage at the end, but he won't be able to do so. Crucial takes him away. And Endpoint will get to say 3 AKs and an M4 over. A big swing in the economy. A big swing in the game as well, potentially. If Nordavind end up losing this one here, they might think back on this round as one that really cost them here in this first half.
I think even if they don't lose this next round, they've got to look back at that and say, how did we allow that to happen? I do think that Endpoint have proven time and time again that it doesn't matter what buy they have, they still manage to like cause some costs and do some damage. I think they have some talented pistol players, but that is not a round that you can afford to let slip away, especially in an elimination match. It is a crucial time for both teams, and well, Endpoint are going to be very happy with that one.
Robin seems aware that a player might have been boosting. Croman's taken some damage early, as has Harrop, but nothing significant. Now Croman will start to clear out some of these angles towards window. He won't just want to go for the peak completely alone, though. He'll want a flashbang at the very least, you'd expect. The problem is that's when you start to give away the fact that you might be pushing the window, so he might just go alone, and oh, that's not a fight that's going to be good for him. Robin very well prepared for the early boost.
Interestingly, they're actually not breaking the vent as well, so they've taken this position while going the long way around, which means that they're obviously peeking into middles a little bit tougher, but it means that if they do push through and if somehow they do lose a fight, they know exactly where that player is, so it can help them out. Surreal, again, Harry's pushed in solo with the bomb. I'm not sure why we're seeing the T-side go so disjointed in a lot of these rounds. That Tensky is so late to actually take those fights. Maybe he was watching into CT, but you need to at least go together, because if you're going to allow individual duels like that for Endpoint, especially when they already have like passive positions and angles to hold, that's going to be very, very easy for them. So I do think this has been a consistent problem with Nordavind, that sometimes maybe it is just early in the day, but I feel like that excuse goes out the window when it's midday wherever they are at the moment. So it's not really acceptable anymore that it just seems to be disjointed with their communication or with their actual timing on their hits.
Yeah, and just thinking back to some of the rounds they've won, there was the round where Croman got 3 entries onto 8. Oh, wow. Crucial flicking over for that first shot. Makes it a second. Nordavind did force up here, but it does not look good for them. Crucial keeps on landing shots. Quad kill for Crucial, just picking them apart on the A-bomb site. He's up to 16 kills now. A great game from him. His teammates have been helping out. And yeah, in the rounds that Nordavind have won, it's more just been maybe an individual getting entries than the trade kills. Yeah. And that is concerning, because you can't just rely on that.
But the other thing as well is I feel like, well, it's almost like a single-pronged attack. Like they've just been going towards the A side. One of the rounds they won was on B, but that was pretty much with one player there in a force buy round where they decided to stack the other side of the map. And they're going to go back there, but I feel like this can also give you a false positive in the sense of you're only going with pistols. So if you go into this sort of round and go, okay, this doesn't work, it's like, well, you haven't actually tried to go here with a buy round. Again, very disjointed. This is 1 by 1 by 1. It could not be easier for Mighty Max to get these kills. I honestly think in this situation, I could get these kills with one player running through a smoke and not having the vision to see me. This is just looking weak at the moment from Nordavind, and they're a team where, at least in terms of the individual players, I have a lot of respect, and I do enjoy like watching them play, but this has been really disappointing. And although, like, going into this, I definitely thought that Endpoint were the favorites, just based off previous results, how they've been playing. this is just, it's not been good at all. Like, even if you just consider something like mid control, I don't even think they've had mid control pretty much throughout. Like, there was one round, I think, where they met, one of the rounds they won, they split through connector, and that was where they win the round. Other than that, there's been very, very little in terms of a battle, and wow, there's only one player going across. Can't really blame NATO too much for that. It is a nice jump made and a decent shot coming out from the other side. How does Harry not get that kill? Mighty Max taking a risk, and Nortensky at least does get one out of the palace, but again, this is just solo fight after solo fight. There has been no team play in this round whatsoever from Nordavind.
Yeah, it really has been a problem for them. Just fighting across the map, just trying to brawl with their opponents, and Endpoint are up to the challenge right now. 10-3 lead for the CTs. And in all honesty, even if this was Endpoint's map pick, I wouldn't be feeling great about Nordavind right now. Considering this is Nordavind's map pick, it's a real worry for them right now here on Mirage. You can see the odds over on Unicorn heavily in favor of Endpoint at this point. It's shifting towards them, and you can see why with how this game has been going so far. And into round 14, it is full Galils from Nordavind. They've made sure to focus more on the nades than anything else. Crucial there, just got to kill while blind. I barely even saw that. Crucial has been so quick on these kills in and around the A site. Sometimes he's going mid, sometimes he's going A, but wherever he's going, he's making sure to land shots. And Nordavind have been slowed down at the start of this one. They have their nades that they're going to try and use into the A site, but they've already used a smoke for stairs and jungle. So that's 2 smokes gone. They only have 2 smokes left. And there's quite a few players waiting on this A site for this push to come against them.
Yeah, it seems like the buys are getting weaker and weaker as the days go by. I don't think we've seen a single AWP for NATO as well, which is a bit of a peculiar one, especially when the counter AWP on the other side has been having such a good game. A lot of the time you'll bring up that AWP just to try and fight back. Some aggressive positions being taken as well by Endpoint. They've got so much map control that they can afford to take some risks. They can gamble some players back in the other direction. Surreal's got to be careful, but he still wins that duel and is even able to get back around the corner before anybody has a chance to trade. NATO at least trying to sneak his way back out. And I'm not sure what happened there. I guess Crucial was watching it, then switched, and Surreal didn't realize that somebody could have come out the ramp. HS has found a kill onto Thomas as well, and the wraparound from Mighty Max could be everything. He's not going to fall, and now, well, the T's have to go forward. They know they're locked in. They either have to kill that man off or try and face into the side, but they're running out of time. The bomb's gone down on the ramp. This is all falling apart. There's only 10 seconds left. They have to run. They have to retrieve it. They don't know where Max is, but they will be able to get the plant, although he's coming in for a prime angle. It is going to go down a little bit too late, and he won't be able to get the double spray. It's dicey, but Nordavind, they get it done, and they find a 4th.
Yeah, it's not pretty, it's not convincing, but it's a round for Nordavind, and that's all that matters for them at this point. They're trying to salvage whatever the hell they can from this half. There was that shot from Crucial, blinded in the palace, but he nailed that first kill. Was doing a bit of damage in and around the site, but fair play to Nordavind. They save it, even if they did leave the bomb at ramp, which nearly costed them. They are able to get it onto the site in time, getting some very important kills in the mix of it there. And oof, NATO Safix comes so close to that opening kill. Finally pulling out the AWP on the T side to try and counter these 2 AWPs that are in play for Endpoint. And even though he doesn't land the shot, he comes very close to getting the initial frag for his team. And now Nordavind, or rather Endpoint, might have to respect Nordavind a bit more, knowing that there is that AWP in play. Surreal just holding the palace right now. He's alone on that A side of the map. Endpoint have focused more on mid control this time round. And if Nordavind are going to spread out at the start of the round, this is much more like it. Just holding in a default, seeing if Endpoint give them any early fights.
Again, it looks like this round is going to end on the A site. It has in almost every single round so far this game. I think we've seen 2 go in the direction of B, and neither of those used mid. That's a great flash from Harry, though. Setting up NATO to get the opening pick. Crucial is going to rotate in, and is there a gap? There is a gap. He's not quite going to land the shot. It's going to be a trade from Mighty Max, and there's 2 players within CT that need to be dealt with. NATO's going to go for the peak, taking a risk, but it might just pay off. They need to try and hold on to this angle. especially with the bomb now ticking. NATO lands the second. I'm not sure why this orb didn't come in sooner. It seems like he's going to do the job on his own. Mighty Max just rounding that corner, looking to try and get in with Tensky waiting, but he knows that both players are there now. The rest of the team can now home in on the angle. Fifth looking definite, and the combination of Harry and NATO is enough to get them a fifth round. It took them some time, but they have got a few on the board, and although the comeback seems unlikely with a pistol, who knows, it might still be possible.
Yeah, it still felt like a pretty one-dimensional T side from Nordavind, almost always going into this A site, but at least at the end here they showed why they've been trying to go for these A plays in some of these rounds, where they have been able to win these fights and go for these faster plays. Harry there closing it out with 2 nice kills at the end, and 5 rounds at the half for Nordavind. Endpoint, though, should be feeling good about their chances here, heading into their T side. Nades being bought by Mighty Max early. Looks like only the 1 set of nades for Endpoint, though, at least for now. And yeah, Robin will be buying the Kevlar. So 1 set of utility, while over on the Nordavind side, they pick up a single kit. And Endpoint all leaning over to B, where right now there's only 1 CT here to stop them. Harrow would have to have a monster hold to try and deny this B site.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. Got a lot to do. Does manage to get a first, and Tensky's actually found another one on the cross, but the trades come back thick and fast with HS trying to hold on to the cross, and the bomb still not down, or at least not planted, I should say, as it is down on the ground. They need to retrieve it. Croman has caught another one, but Mighty Max has picked one more. NATO from behind was not expected, and now it's left all onto Crucial, and HS submerging himself, or emerging himself through the smoke, is going to get them that pistol. So Nordavind back on the board, more importantly, back in the match.
Yeah, they're still alive here. Endpoint should be going for a low buy or the Force, which is what they've decided to do. You can go ahead and check out Hellcase, where you can use code SLTV15 for a 15% refill bonus over on Hellcase. And Endpoint have gone for the Force buy here. Flashes and smokes alongside the pistols. This is a Force that they didn't really have to go for, but I think that they're a team that want to get that AWP out for Crucial, and if they'd have just saved here, they would have only had the AKs in the next round. So maybe that's part of why they've gone for the Force. Maybe they think that Nordavind are weak as well. We'll wait and see, because it was a slow start to the game for Nordavind. Maybe these pistols will have some luck. Robin winning that initial kill with the Deagle. HS struggling at range, and finally gets one with the FAMAS, but he's quickly traded by Crucial, and Endpoint already proving they are not going to be going down without a fight in this round. It's back to a 2v3 thanks to NATO Safix, but Nordavind have lost this B bomb site, and this is really concerning for them.
Looking like that comeback might be slipping away already. Surreal trying to find someone on the edge. The peek comes through. It's a little bit dicey, and you can see all the flares coming through the smoke. Lots of damage done. Croman somehow managed to get another. I'm not sure how any of these shots didn't connect onto him. He was only on 4 HP, but somehow he's managed to make it work with a little bit of insanity. They are going to have the defusal, but with an extra bomb plant, there may be a temptation here from Endpoint to risk it for a biscuit.
Croman is desperately searching and trying to scavenge another gun. And he's got a FAMAS, so he gets an upgrade at the end there. I think Endpoint will be kicking themselves, though. The fact that Croman is able to just jump through that smoke and win that first fight to begin with was absurd. Then he wins that second fight while low on health. It must have been some missed shots from Endpoint, in all honesty, which is what's allowed Nordavind to win that one. And I like this decision by Endpoint. I think at this point, you get the bomb down, you can go ahead and buy something into this round. They're basically using the extra money they got from the bomb plant just to invest a little bit into this one, just to keep the pressure on Nordavind's money, but they're not going for the full-on Force buy, which could be a bit of a risk at this point of the game. So I'm happy that Endpoint have made this decision, especially considering what they did in the last round with just the pistols. Nordavind have to respect this buy. Surreal searching for a fight over on the A site, but he's not been given an opportunity just yet. Crucial going for the kill at mid, but NATO Safix is there to stop him. And it looks like this time the pistols won't have anywhere near as much success, at least not at the start of the round, where Nordavind are winning all the early fights. Ooh, nice shot.
Okay. A little bit of extra damage done. HS is going to drop the bomb. And Robin, well, all he can really hope for is maybe one extra kill. They will finally get a 4-buy going into the next round, but by this point, it will give a little bit of a chance for Nordavind to at least make some extra cash, have some rifles going in as well. May even be able to pick up an AWP if HS is willing to drop it as well. I do question how much Robin can do, because even an extra kill here would be quite valuable, forcing an extra rebuy, making sure that Nordavind don't really get the chance to build up as much money as they would have liked. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. We'll see, though. I am interested to know if HS is going to drop that orb, because I think it definitely did make for an interesting dynamic going into the end of the last half, but he bought nades instead, so never mind.
Someone who will be having an orb, though, is Crucial. Picks one up on the Endpoint side of things. This is the nice thing about taking that save previously. It's a strong buy across the board. Crucial has decided to just go without the helmet. Instead of getting a helmet, he's gone for some nades, which might come into play. But we can see it in the scoreboard. Crucial has been having a good time of things so far. Thomas has been having a solid game, but his ADR isn't actually that high. His damage isn't actually that high on the scoreboard. He's more been cleaning up the kills, clearly, while the rest of the team have been a bit more involved in the action across most of these rounds. As for Nordavind, like we were saying, NATO Safik started to show up towards the end there. Still some of their players being a little bit quiet. We're not seeing the same Tensky as yesterday. Croman and HS have been okay, but not outstanding. Still only a 2-round difference, though. So even though Nordavind have had this slow start, they've shown tenacity to keep themselves in this game. And it looks like Nordavind's coach has just left the server. So this might be a slightly extended pause here ahead of the first gun round. At least it's a pause ahead of the first gun round, though. Because whenever you get a pause like this before an eco, it's just the worst. Because you come back after like a 2-minute break and you're like, oh,
now they're going to get slapped. Yeah. Well, Endpoint, they do have the max loss bonus now as well, and we'll see if they can continue what was a good run of form in the first half. Of course, a 10-5 half, although they were up 10-3, and then the last couple of rounds actually slipped away from them, so it could have been more dominant. We'll see if that actually comes back to bite them. We are just going to have rifles on the side of the CT, and not a huge amount of cash remaining. I am a little bit disappointed that we didn't see maybe a nade saved, an HS handed, or handing an AWP over to NATO Safik, because I do think that he is someone who can have that high level of impact once he gets the AWP. Some aggression, though. That might be the reason why. There's a plan for the CT side. Thomas tries to take the fight versus 2, gets nothing, and the CTs with their early aggro are now just going to fall back.
Yeah, nice little switch up from Nordavind with some early aggression. Gets them the man advantage. I like that they go for something a bit out there in this round, knowing that Endpoint will be wanting to just go for their first gun round and will be wanting to be able to set up one of their plays. But you kind of take the playbook away from Endpoint a little bit by getting aggressive early, by causing them some issues. Now whatever plan they had at the start of the round might be going against them because they don't have the full nades anymore. They don't have the early ramp control that they would have maybe been wanting. So it just makes Endpoint a little uncomfortable at the start of this first gun round. Still looks like Endpoint have recovered, though, as Robin goes for the information play. Spots a man in connector. 2 smokes deployed in mid for Endpoint. That's all their smokes used now. So they've got to rely on their aim and their flashes to get them onto a bomb site. NATO Safik's just now breaking that vent for a fast rotate over to B, which may be required here. There are 2 CTs on the site, but Endpoint is sneaking up short.
Maybe sneaking a little bit louder than they would have liked. Yeah. Definitely some footsteps there. Still an entry for Mighty Max. Needs to try and get the second nose. The bomb has now been dropped in the open once again. They've only got 10 seconds. They have to go, and they have to go now. It might be retrieved and just about going to go down, but Croman knows this is his moment, this is his chance. He's not quite going to be able to deny it. The rush doesn't work, and now he's left into a 2 versus 2, but Tensky comes in and saves the day. Again, it's a close situation for Endpoint. Again, the time becomes a factor, and well, again, Nordavind come out on top.
Yeah, a couple of rapid kills from Tensky. Endpoint thought that they were maybe going to be able to just quickly get onto the B site with some fast frags. It was the initial aggression from Tensky into A ramp. And let's see these final kills. Oh, both players tried to peek him, but the first man didn't land any shots, so Tensky was able to just transfer over to the second player. And even if Tensky goes down there, he would have gathered information for his teammate who was close by. So good work by Tensky, good work by Nordavind on the retake, and a nice timing on the rotate from NATO Safix, who arrived at the B site just in time. And speaking of NATO Safix, he's missed that first shot at mid, and now he might be in trouble. He's low, the molly lands, he's got the smoke to keep himself safe, but there are still nades in play. And okay, Mighty Max and Surreal both getting kills. It's complete chaos at mid. NATO Safix is still just sitting here. That nade landed, but he gets away on 3 health.
Yeah, it almost seems like the rest of the players on his team did their best to try and save him, and he escapes and the other 2 die instead, which I really don't think was a worthy trade. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. But it looks like the CT side are going for the all-in gamble. They've pushed their chips into the center of the table, and they've bet them all on black, or in this case, B. And we'll see whether or not that's going to pay off. Already the push towards connector seems to be the play and the right one of that. Although Harry's given a chance, he does manage the first pick, and the rest of the team are going to start rotating. It seems like they've changed their mind. They've doubled down, and especially with Harry finding another one, NATO even going to close it out. Somehow, some way, Nordavind come out on top again.
Yeah, Nordavind stepping up now. Some of their individuals are really starting to make the difference here. And over on the Endpoint side of things, some of their players have really slowed down. Thomas has been on 14 kills for a while. I think Crucial's had maybe a couple of kills in the second half at most. It's been a complete turnaround in terms of individuals. And when Nordavind step up with the majority of their players, that's when they can be a very, very dangerous team. And we're already seeing that. Endpoint, though, moving into A, where Croman is here to stop them. AK good for the first kill. Make it a second. Ooh, it's actually 3 for Croman before he's finally taken out of the round. And that allows NATO Safix an easy cleanup at the end there. Nordavind get themselves into the lead, I think for the first time in this game.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me with how well Endpoint have actually been playing, especially on their CT side. But this is what we like to see. Nordavind finally stepping up, getting some of their players to perform a little bit better. Those last few rounds on their T half clearly making a bit of a difference. And now I would say there's no excuses, but then again, Harry's actually playing this round with a MAC-10, so who knows? I'm interested to see where he's going to play. It's just going to be close on the B side. It can work, although I would much rather see him use some of his $6,000 to get a rifle on the board instead. Playing close around the edge of the smoke. Maybe he'll get one for free. That would be nice. Everything's nice when it's free. Well, Surreal actually just going to make the decision to fade back around the smoke. Might have been heard, and well, the bullets definitely will be. In the meantime, his teammates have taken some control in mid, which has been something they've been far more focused on than what we saw from Nordavind. In fact, it's almost the opposite. It's like if you combine both of their T-halves, you probably have one good T-half, where it's a lot of mid-control for Endpoint, and it was a lot of executions onto the A site for Nordavind. I think a mix of both would probably have been the best sort of T side you could have.
Yeah, Endpoint have been much more B-focused as well, and that trend is set to continue in this one. They've got a fair few players stacked in and around this B site. Harris playing close on the site, and Surreal's got to clear this angle. Oh, Surreal's running in, but look at the rotation. Nordavind have so many players here, so many players on this B side of the map, and that will spell the end of the round for Endpoint. A couple of kills for Robin is all they're able to get. Nordavind just seem to be one step ahead of Endpoint right now. The rotations are so fast that even if Endpoint were to get decent trades onto the site, it wouldn't really be good enough for them. And those odds that were favoring Endpoint fairly heavily earlier on are definitely going back in favor of Nordavind now that they are looking much better on their map pick. If you want to check that out, you can go ahead and check out Unicorn. But unfortunately for Endpoint, into this next round, it's another one where I don't think they're going to get too much in terms of an investment. Thomas has still been on 14 kills for quite a while. I'm not sure how much he's done in this T side. And he's one of the players we always look at on this Endpoint roster. Same with Crucial. Just in general, the entire team slowed down, obviously, but it's players like that not showing up that can be a real difference maker here. And over on the Nordavind side, clearly NATO Safix, now that he's getting the AWP in his hands more often, he's having so much more impact. He's up to 20 kills now, top fragging for his team. And up against the Pistols, this should be another chance for Nordavind to extend their lead even further.
Yeah, this is starting to look rough for Endpoint again. The same as yesterday, starting very strong, having a great first half on their CT side, and their T side just looking lackluster. And well, that's something that they definitely can't afford to let slip away. This is, of course, an elimination match, and going into the second of Vertigo, they're heavily favored, but I'm sure they'd want to get this done in 2, especially with the amount of matches they've been playing recently. It does seem like everything they're doing is fairly well scripted. Crucial might be able to be a little bit sneaky, but Croman has his back. A first kill coming up for the CT side, and so far these Pistols been unable to do anything.
Bomb's been left behind at mid, and Mighty Max is moving through the smoke. HS has got to be aware of this, got to be ready for it. He actually doesn't land the shots. Mighty Max a little lucky to get away with his life there, and wow, he lands a great shot with the Deeg. Maybe that's a way into the round for Endpoint. Back to a 4v4. There's no way for them to get that gun right now, and Tensky moving into mid might have a nice angle to watch Connector here. Mighty Max isn't looking the right way. Easy kill from behind for Tensky. He's getting aggressive at mid, though. That's a bit of a risk, but he moves into the ladder room, which is a much safer position to be in. And with Croman landing a further shot for Nordavind, it looks like they've got Endpoint's number in this round. And Endpoint don't have an answer for them here. Just Robin left. Nice shot again, but there are 3 more to find. And 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He's got to die. Oh, he might die after time. That would suck.
Well, if he gets an AK, it's okay. Not the dying after time, but just saving the AK, which he'll be able to do. So it basically makes no difference. He just makes the same money back that he probably would have spent. Maybe would have had a little bit more, but he gets a free deagle and had some Kevlar, so it doesn't really matter too much. Can invest into grenades anyway, and Crucial will have his AWP once more. Even still, though, this has been a really good streak of rounds. You have to bear in mind this was a 10-3 scoreline. So it has now been 10 rounds in a row for Nordavind, bringing this back. The last couple on their T side, and now, I think, what, an 8-0 start? If my maths isn't as bad as I think it is on this second half.
Sounds about... Oh, maybe... Wait. Yeah, no, that sounds right, because we're in round 24 now. Good job.
I like how for a second you doubted me and then went, no, that's probably right.
Probably. Trust you more than me.
Yeah, you know, my GCSE in maths is doing well.
Oh yeah, what did you get in maths at GCSE?
I got an A, and then I
damn.
tried to do it at A level, and after the AS, I dropped the whole subject because I completely failed the first exam. But let's move away from that. That doesn't affect my basic math skills. And I'm going to tell all of you guys out there, I have never used algebra in my entire life, so screw it.
Crucial not landing shots at mid. Mighty Max is, but it's Nordavind who gets some kills in reply. Early trades leave us in a 3-on-3, but Robin's found his way onto the B bomb site. They didn't even really get a kill on B, but Robin's found the gap. Robin's found himself in a great position, and he's got himself a freebie. Croman's not ready for the aggression, not ready for the position, and Endpoint have to be winning this round here. They've got the B site. They've got Mighty Max cutting off mid. This is their best chance yet to get their first T round on the board, and unless Nordavind can land some great shots here, unless they can get this early kill, they might be in trouble. Where is Mighty Max looking, though? He's looking the wrong way. The players at mid get him, and maybe Nordavind now have a chance at the retake, but they're still going to have to be fast on this one. Tensky's got the kit, but I don't know if they're going for this. They're taking so much time. As smoke finally lands on the site, but Endpoint know that there's no one on the site. So I think Nordavind had just given up on this. The smoke didn't even land where they wanted it to. It landed on top of the bomb site itself. So Endpoint get themselves an 11th round win. Nordavind still have plenty of money, though. Don't get ahead of yourself, Tom. Can't be celebrating
Hey,
yet.
they got one. That's what you don't want to ever lose a half completely flawless.
That's
so even
true.
just getting the one, at least it's a combo breaker. They're going to have enough money to still invest into this round. So will the CTs as well. So it's not really much of a muchness. They're actually going to go for a double AWP setup. Harry picking up the secondary. But realistically, at this point, it's down to Endpoint. If they can pick up this round, if they can grind this one back, maybe they can start talking about economy and worrying about what Nordavind are doing financially. For now, they do have themselves plenty of cash in the bank.
This mid control continues to work out for Endpoint. Although the CTs are putting down some utility and are trying to be sticky at mid, trying to make it a bit more difficult for Endpoint to take this area of the map. It's over at B though, where Harris' secondary AWP gets the initial kill for Nordavind, so they get themselves an early man advantage. It's a clean pick as well. And again, Endpoint have this mid control, but they don't exactly have an ability to move into connector right now, where there are a couple of players stacked. Nordavind are kind of just keeping Endpoint contained in mid and not letting them near the bomb sites, which is obviously the end goal for any T side. If you need me to tell you that, then you've got some problems on your hand if you're playing Counter-Strike at home. 55 seconds left though, and Endpoint not really getting too active across the map. They're continuing to take their time, but from the 4v5, they've got a fair amount of work to do to come back into this one.
And not a lot of time to do it. 35 seconds up and coming on the clock as they have to start moving forward. Time is going to be everything, and NATO's now spotted 2 players going on to short. The likelihood of a B play was high, but with already Tensky picking up another 2 kills, again, a high-impact game from him. And Harry just waiting patiently for the remaining players to try and push their way through. They don't even have time. They might as well just be saving these guns. I guess loss bonus is high enough that they'll still be able to buy, but this round is over. They don't even have time to retrieve that bomb, and Surreal, he's just got to try and survive or die right now. And, well, he's actually waited a little bit too long, so if Harry can kill him off here, it would be prime time, and that's not what you want to see.
Especially Surreal, who only had, what, $1,000? He's not in a great spot now. Some of the other players had a bit more money, so maybe could have rebought, but yeah, that's not what Surreal needed. He's fully investing into what little he can. Thomas has that one AK, and the rest of Endpoint are buying pretty heavily around it. They have some money saved, so they probably can still buy into the next, but it's just fallen apart for them here. They've only found 1 round on this T side. That did come over towards the B side of things, but HS has already done some good damage early, and HS is getting inquisitive in the midst of the smoke. He needs to be a bit careful here that there are players close by, but he gets 2 kills early, 1 through the smoke. HS keeps on fighting. He knows they're coming his way, but it's Harriet and NATO Safix both chiming in, and a nice little 1-tap at the end for Style.
Yeah, this has been a real resurgence. Like at 10-3 down, I think it was quite easy to harp on Nordavind for like having this map as a choice. Really didn't perform well on their T side, but I feel like the last 2 rounds gave them that boost, and from then onwards we've seen only 1 round going the way of Endpoint. And even just on an individual basis, we've seen some fantastic rounds again, but there seems to be a little bit more synergy on the CT side of this map. Again, if you look at the scoreline, NATO now sits right at the top after having a pretty slow half in the last, and there's only 1 player who's actually negative on kills, and even that's only by 1. So, yeah, a real step up from them.
I'm kind of tempted to look back to see if Thomas has got a kill on this T side, because I keep on saying he's been at 14 kills for a while, and he's not been able to do a whole lot. And again, it's partly just because Endpoint's T side has been a bit stale in general. They've generally got the mid control, and then they don't know what to do from there, it feels like. I'm just scrolling back through the kill feed. Yeah, I don't see a single kill from Thomas on this T side, so that's not exactly ideal. And again, Endpoint are getting the mid control, but the question is, what can they do with it? They haven't been able to split bomb sites, and this time Nordavind have 4 players stacked on A. This is a big risk. And early on, Thomas has been able to take out the first man before he's traded, finally getting a T-side kill.
Maybe that'll make all the difference. He is normally someone who I'd consider to be the star of this team. So the fact that he's just not been able to perform on this half is worrying. Crucial as well, I think, has had a pretty big slowdown. I think he was on like 22 kills maybe in the first half.
I think it was 2021, something like that.
So
he's on 22 now.
Yeah, the fact that we've seen so many players just almost fall off a cliff for Endpoint. Crucial, though, has been able to gain some real ground here, though. NATO is going to have no idea. There's the first kill. Tensky should have the trade almost instantly, and he almost gets another, still leaving his team with a chance. And after last round, I'm not going to be the one to doubt HS. Timing could be everything here. Looking for the headshot onto Surreal, who's almost trapped in the corner, but the Molotov will be thrown in. HS actually makes the decision to push past it, but you've got to be careful. It shouldn't spread up onto the bin, but, well, sometimes Molotovs are trash. Ha!
Nice. HS, that nade should be good. There we go, Surreal's dead, but there are 2 more players still to find and no more nades to try and take them out of the action. HS realizes this round isn't winnable. Or should be saved over, unless Robin decides to try and make sure that can't happen, but I think HS will be fine. Just pulls out the dualies for funsies at the end, but it's Endpoint who get themselves another round win. That's only 2 on the T side now, but they finally find a bit of success on the A site, which we hadn't really seen from them too often throughout this half. I wonder if they are going to just throw in some A executes at some point, because, again, the mid control, as much as they've been able to get it, it hasn't been effective at winning them rounds. Over on the Nordavind side, plenty of money remains for them. They get that double AWP setup out once again. And into round 28, it's another chance for Nordavind to try and close it out here on their map pick. And this time, Endpoint aren't going for that early mid control, but Harris going aggressive over at B, almost landing that shot there.
It wasn't far away. Still doesn't net them anything. NATO, on the other hand, has that same aggressive peek we see onto short. HS now waiting within the window. He's got to be careful because Crucial is still there with the AWP. Patiently waiting, trying to re-aggress. Doesn't seem to have any supportive grenades, though, to actually get him out for a proper peek. And it seems like the full team has just made the decision to rotate back towards the T-ramp. Look to try and get themselves into this A site. Maybe a split from Surreal. Going to bring them round from behind. But ultimately, still a pretty bleak situation for them to be in. A minute up and coming on the clock. And now seeing them begin their move. The smoke's falling, the cross covered, a man still sat in the corner is going to be the only defender. Croman needing at minimum a kill, ideally going to want to get a little bit more, and Thomas is going to be his primary target as he looks to come out of the palace, although actually the peek could be perfect. There's the kill. Thomas peeks out, second one for Croman as well, and this is all and done. It's going to be easy in the end for Nordavind. After being 10-3 down, they bring it all the way back and take themselves the victory.